$1.26, and escrow fund list of bills dated December 16, 2025 to January 19, 2028 in the amount of $146,178.63.
I make a motion to approve the payroll and expenditures as said.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Okay, we move to public comment for non-agenda item.
Lately, I've been researching items related to the commercially marketed venue in my residential neighborhood to bolster the work of our neighborhood attorney. Recently, I looked at Bill's list to identify items that may need looking into that might be related to this. But one item stood out, which was a payment in the end of August, payment to Cohen Investigations for $2,500 for security check, invoice number 1. West Vincent Township does have resources used for routine security, which is Servitude, the physical security company that handles cameras and alarms, and Help Now does the IT and cybersecurity, and of course, our West Vincent Police Department, which normally does criminal and non-criminal investigations and background checks for new hires. So we have a history of using those three. So I Googled Cohen Investigations, and they're a New Jersey PI firm run by a bunch of ex-New Jersey cops. The bulk of their website seems to cater to marital issues like cheating, child custody, alimony, with some minor things that are handled by our authorized entities like document retrieval. And the business items that they list are actually labeled for private sector business investigations, which West Vincent Township is not technically a private sector. So I advise people to look them up and check out the website to get that kind of vibe. So I took this information and kind of shared it with some other people to see if they'd ever seen this type of an expense before. And 2 things came up. So the first one, Cohen Investigations mentioned cybersecurity, which Help Now typically handles, I mentioned, for the township. But the dates on the bills do line up with something that happened when my personal email and social media were hacked by a computer that was identified as being here, this building during office hours. How do I know where and when that happened? When someone who is not you has accounts like email, or Amazon or Netflix, being accessed by a computer that you rarely or don't use, people will get a pop-up on their device with a map circling the area and asking, say, if you're in Bangkok trying to access your Netflix account. And on August 23rd, almost 3 weeks after my job had been eliminated, I got one of those pop-ups from Google saying a computer from this spot in Chester Springs was accessing my personal email. Now, unlike those pop-up maps I mentioned where the location typically shows where your phone or whatever the notification is, and then a map halfway across the world, this was a close-up map showing the area, and it was this building, about a block away from where I live and where I was actually located at that time. So I reported through the pop-up that it wasn't me, and then later that day I got more notices, this time from my personal Facebook account, that someone was in there that also wasn't me, nor were they Kathy Schillen, another former township employee that I alerted to this issue because person poking around in the accounts was also using Kathy's personal account on the group that we shared. And they were being registered as being done by Kathy, which they were not. And the next day I met with the West Vincent Police Department to file a police report, as did Kathy. And I was asked and answered that for my previous township job, I had to occasionally use my personal Facebook account, which is linked to my personal Gmail, to do my job. And I explained that these actions were done by previous township employees in my position and previous managers, and it was something that administration had known about and approved. And I confirmed with the police that it actually is illegal to access private email and social media accounts that aren't yours, even if you know or have access to the passwords. And full disclosure, at this time, I was communicating with the township through my attorney, and the township was knew about this, and going into my personal accounts didn't seem too far-fetched at the time. And I did tell the police at that meeting to tell Tom and his employees to stay out of my personal accounts. And I was told that the police did speak to Tom and let him know this activity is legal, and the police said that it would not happen going forward to either my account or Kathy's. So that's one instance of things that they do, is they kind of go in and look for these types of activities. Second one was one of the prior townships that Tom had been in, there were some cameras that were in employee areas that were not installed with general employee knowledge. Over time, this info was discovered, and not the standard camera placement like front door or reception window, which the state considers reasonable areas in public buildings where privacy is not expected. These were more so on the employees. PA is a 2-party consent state, meaning both parties watching and being watched have to give consent, unlike New Jersey, which is where the company is from, which is a one-party consent. So, and as additional information, the PA Labor Relations Board has strict rules about cameras when it impacts union members because they need to be added into union contracts through collective bargaining. So the two items I listed that fit with Cohen investigations are what they call bug sweeps and TCSM, technical surveillance countermeasures, in New Jersey on phones and computers, where they could then install TCSM and computer tracking software and cameras. They advertise that those mostly catching lying spouses, or computer forensics for discrete forensic examinations of Gmail, social media. And they push a use for catching cheating partners, having affairs and such by looking at receipts and emails in the partner's accounts. So both things kind of fall under items that maybe the West Vincent PD would do for criminal investigations or servitude and help now. So I've got my right to know submitted for this one. They've been written. I've found case law that supports getting these items related to municipal PI investigations via right to know. And just like there was case law supporting the electronic documentation when requested, agencies can't just claim an investigation or security check on things and assume it's an exemption of the law. So this is all speculative, but it kind of lines up with some of the stuff that happened to me. So in February 2025 board meeting, the minutes state Mrs. Allen was most impressed that he, Tom Ryan, is all about transparency and communication. So I'm asking right now, what was this $2,500 security check done by this New Jersey PI company for that our current providers and/or PD couldn't have handled?
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Could this perhaps have anything to do with us trying to recover our Facebook account?
I'm sure, but you can't go into people's personal Gmails and personal Facebooks.
Well, you said that you have submitted a right to know request.
I have it written and it will be submitted tomorrow.
Okay, so they'll respond.
So you don't want to respond to it now?
No, you submitted it to
Okay.
the police department.
Oh, I didn't submit it to the police department. I'm going to be submitting it to the township because it's a township bill.
It has nothing to do with recovering deleted emails or deleted files. We're trying to get back our website that Ms. Casey still holds. It has nothing to do.
Oh, no. I don't have the website, sir. You got to get your IT terms correct. So,
You have Facebook and the Instagram.
oh, no. I sent him the link for that. He just can't figure it out.
Thank you. Anyone else have any